guys, Romie here. Actually, Romie Reviews. I just did a little rebrand, so now my channel's called Romie Reviews, and I'll be doing pop culture stuff called Romie Reports at least once a week, possibly more than once a week, depending on how much foolishness is out there. So yeah, doing some new things in 2018 anyway. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you don't normally comment, please just, leave any comment. This is my review for Married to Medicine, Season 5, Episode 14. So it's D.N.A, D-Day. Now, the episode starts off with, we see for a moment Eugene and Toya, they go to Dr. Jackie's to just get a checkup for Eugene. And his high blood pressure is due to his weight. So once he loses some weight, his blood pressure will decrease drastically. Actually, he doesn't even have to lose that much. He just needs to lose some. So that's good news. Dr. Jackie said, Toya, you need to go and support Eugene. So no alcohol, because obviously a lot of people don't even realize this. Alcohol is basically liquid calories. Not all, but a lot are. And so Toya had that look of, I don't know what needs to do that. Anyway. Dr. Heavenly does her spiritual advisor, Jules' teeth, just regular cleaning, so that she can now go and counsel her. And Dr. Jackie lets it be known, I really tried to go and help these people's relationships, but it didn't work out the way that I planned. Jules said it didn't work out the way that you planned because your plans were flawed from the beginning. You want people to be vulnerable. You want people to be vulnerable, and yet you didn't allow them to see the inner workings of your marriage and some things that need to be changed. So why would they go and expose some really personal things or feel comfortable enough to talk about the things that they had going on? And that's exactly what they said, and that's exactly what we said. But of course, because Heavenly's hearing it from someone else, she can accept and appreciate more. But one thing that she did do that was also nice was during the last dinner, we didn't see this part, she wanted the ladies, I'm assuming the ladies, to do a DNA test. And she just wanted to get them closer to African roots. And I said, oh, that's really nice. I found out it was 23andMe. I said, oh, so you couldn't even do Ancestry? Okay, because 23andMe, they're into that cloning stuff, where they have companies that support them are into that cloning stuff. So you have to be careful, because they could take your DNA and resell it and do all this weird, like bioengineering of it. And so I did Ancestry. They did. I'll actually say my results towards the end. I may be able to incorporate them into this video, but we'll see. But I said, okay, that's cool, Heavenly, that's nice. Next off, we see Dr. Simone. She goes and meets up with Quad because Quad was actually late to that again. So Quad's keeping her reputation pristine when it comes to that. 45 minutes. First of all, if this is just a one-on-one and we both have the same call time, but you're telling me that you can't get there, and this is TV, and you can't get there until 45 minutes later, that's rude. I don't care. I don't care. Unless it was already said that I'm doing other stuff while filming this, and so that's why I'm going to be late, then there's no other excuse, at least to me. I'm sure someone else will be able to say something, but no. That's drastic. That's drastic. I would expect you to be like, look, I have other things to do as well. We're going to have to reschedule because I can't. But Dr. Simone, after they get some food, and shout out to them for actually being able to eat. Shout out to them for actually being able to eat, because most shows, people just have drinks. So I said, these are grown women. They're not playing around. They have things to do. They're hungry. Give them some food. Quad was hurt because, one, I do agree with her. Dr. Simone's yelling at delivery. That was too much. That was too much. That was very over the top and unnecessary. But the purpose and the whole point was that Quad, you have a tendency to be overly sensitive, and Dr. Simone said, because Quad's like, wait a minute, all of you guys are sensitive and at times late, so why is the focal point on me? The focal point's on you because you're the one that is the abuser of both of those things. And their whole thing is, Dr. Simone said, look, I'm sorry for how you received what I was saying. What I meant to say was, we don't feel like we can tell you all of the harsh truths and the hard truths. And I said, yeah, because Quad is the type where when it comes to criticism, I feel like because remember, Quad's been open and honest about things that's happened to her in her past. Kind of like with the Dr. Heavenly, where they're both always playing defense. No, yeah, they're both always playing defense, and it turns into offense. And offense meaning they are offended and they react accordingly to how they feel. But that's not how life is. But we transition from that because Quad is just like, nah. We focus on the fact that her and Greg, they're not doing too well. They're not doing too well. She feels unheard. She feels unappreciated. Like what we've been hearing from her this whole season. So she's not sure. She feels like they've done everything they can. She doesn't know what else to do. And Dr. Simone's like, marriage is hard. Marriage is filled with strife. Hello, I know. Dang it. Dr. Simone and Cecil really getting a divorce. I don't believe it. I hope it gets called off. Excuse me, sorry about that. I hope it gets called off because you can't tell. I'm just looking at them on this show. I'm like, oh, you guys couldn't work it out. You guys couldn't work it out. Like, oh, well, guess not. Dr. Jackie, she's been doing a lot of soul searching, and she's felt like her and Curtis had a breakthrough, which means that now they can move on. Now she invites him back into the house. So he's back in the house. And like I said, she kind of reiterates that with everything that they talk about opened up. Maybe now's the time and opportunity for them to go and start over. And I'm thinking, okay, this is, as long as this makes Dr. Jackie happy, whatever. Oh, alright. All of us felt that way. All of us just had that look of, okay, if that's what you really want to do. When I tell you Dr. Jackie said, so you're going to be sleeping downstairs? I said, oh, thank you. Because it's just too soon. It's just too soon. Now, and I think that was the main thing with all of us. It was just too soon. And so we got nervous. But when she said, you're sleeping downstairs, he was clearly caught off guard by that. But I'm looking at him like, look, you're back in the house. You're back in the house. You're back in the house. That's all that matters. You're back in the house. So he took it in stride as he should have. And we moved forward. Now, Dr. Heavenly is informing Toya that the ancestry test stuff, the results came back in. So she wants to go and throw like an African themed party. I said, cool enough. Originally, when she was talking about the African themed stuff, I thought that she did African DNA testing or African ancestry, because there's also an African specific DNA testing. It's expensive though. It's expensive. It costs at least like $300. I'm not even kidding. It costs at least like $300. I said, whoa, I'm not going to be able to do that right now. I'm just going to focus on the ancestry DNA results and keep them moving for now. But yeah, Toya has a friend who's, Guyanese, I believe she said, and has a shop and will have clothing and attire, so maybe she can go and coordinate with some of the others and give them the hookup. So I said, okay, cool enough. Quad and Greg have their friends over, so Mark and Abby are the first set of friends that come over, and then the next set of friends, because they're their marriage counselors. The next group that come in are Sean and, what is it? Marcia? No. Yeah. And, these are the people that we saw before. These are the people that have been counseling Quad, and I guess it's just their whole marriage council group. I thought it was interesting that Quad had a point. When people come over to your house, the bare minimum you do is try to tidy up. So even dishes in the sink, you want to make sure they're not there. You don't want to see stuff on the counter. So I was like, that's not a big deal. I would have been like, all right, I'll just go and clean this up. You go and get ready. But that's not where their marriage is right now. So we start off with, it's actually really complicated. It's a lot more complicated than I think I thought it was. I thought that Quad, even though she had valid points, that she was just being over dramatic. But now I believe that, no, she wasn't just being over dramatic, that there's real, genuine issues. Both of their issues stem from communication. Communication and attention to detail with the things that they individually care about the most. Greg feels like his wife isn't doing the things that essentially what a wife should be doing and the type of support you would expect from a wife, he doesn't fully feel like Quad is giving him. And Quad feels like she's been going above and beyond ever since she met him to help him with his career, to help him personally, to just help him flourish. And that's the thing. He doesn't feel like, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He doesn't feel it from his wife. And that hurts her. That hurts her. And it makes her wonder, so what am I here for? And it's really messed up because he essentially compared the stuff that she did to, the stuff that she's contributed to his life as, something, it's like a buddy. It's not a wife, but it's a buddy. I understand what he probably meant. He probably meant that he feels like right now he's not in a marriage. He feels like it's just a, he's in a relationship with a buddy, somebody he's just cool with. I understand if that's what it was, but I get it why Quad was pissed. Because he made it sound like everything that she's done for him, no, it's just something that a buddy could have done. And she was like, you're a friend, so you're telling me that all of your friends, your male friends, have done the same exact things that I've done for you? You're comparing it to a buddy? Really? Really? Okay. I believe it was Mark who realized that every time either of them talk, both of them kind of look for the exit, like they're just trying to get out, like they don't want to deal with it. So then Quad was trying to say how, and it's also an issue with timing. I was at the nail salon. I just wanted some time to myself, and he called and wanted to have an argument on the phone right there and then and there. He said, no, you're getting your cuticles done, you're getting your pedicure, you're getting your massage, and I just wanted to talk to my wife for a couple of minutes, and you couldn't go and give me that time? My whole thing is, we know that they're not in a good place, so every time they talk, if it starts in an argument, why would she want to go and argue in front of all the people in the salon? I'm just saying, I get the bigger issues because whenever they have issues, Quad definitely, I can see her being the avoidance type. So then he doesn't get the opportunity to say what he wants to say. But things got really, really dumb because he was just like, oh, I apologize for everything that I've done or how I made you feel. But he was just like, and she didn't want to be touched at the end there because it was fake. It was fake, and I got it. But he was like, you know what, you just full. Let me stop. And then he gets on the floor and starts foaming at the mouth. I'm thinking, you're a psychologist? And you're doing that? Sidebar, he almost hit the camera person that was sitting on the other chair. Because I said, who is that white person in them sneakers? Who is that? Presumably white. They may not have been. And everyone is looking at him like, really? And then I got it. I got it. Because at first, like a lot of people, I said, okay, Quad, I understand that you have some valid points, but maybe you're blowing this out of proportion. But if that's how some of the antics that goes on in their relationship, I said, wow, I can see why they got together. because they're both extra. It's not just Quad. It's him too. And that's a lot. That's a problem when two people in a relationship and they have very similar personalities. That usually doesn't work out too well. So I'm surprised that they've been together as long as they have been. So the solution is what? And then Quad brings up the whole thing of the fact with the kids, because she was like, I can't bring kids into this situation. You know, our relationship is filled with strife. I'm thinking, Quad, I feel like Quad is perfectly fine with not having kids. I feel like that's the hard truth. I feel like she's perfectly fine with not having kids. And if she has kids, she'll love it. If she doesn't, she'll be okay. I'm not saying that she'll be great. She'll be happy ever after. I feel like she actually just may be okay. And I think for her husband, I think he finally realizes that. I think he thought that even if things weren't perfect, at least they could have a kid and work things out. That's not the case. And it got really messy when he even, I think it was Sean, who's talked about how he thought his wife, you know, everything that she did, it wasn't a big deal, or it wasn't that important. And it's like, oh, you're at home, you're taking care of the kids. No, that's just your job. That's not important. But Greg said, no, that definitely is important. She's taking care of the kids. Quad over here is I said, okay, we're done. So he storms off and leaves because he just feels frustrated. Next thing we know, we see Contessa, and we already know that she's been contemplating leaving medicine. She's going to take a break. That's all it is. She's going to take a break. She talked to her husband. Dr. Scott supports her 100%. He's able to financially support the household, and they're just going to make some cutbacks, and they're going to be okay. Because the thing is, she wants to be a full-time parent instead of a part-time. She is the situation where, again, she missed, you know, one of her kids' events, and she didn't even remember. And so she just started thinking about with her mom, how when her mom was sick, how she chose medicine over being there with in the last days of her mom, her father, and now her kids. And she just feels really guilty because she knows she can't be a part-time, she can't really be a part-time doctor when she's there and people need her help. And it's like she can't be a part-time mom. So I'm glad that she's in a marriage where her husband supports her and is able to support her financially and emotionally with that, because some men really would have been like, look, you need to figure it out, because I go at work, I take care of the kids too, so what are you trying to say? But he fully got it. He's like, look, they love me, but they really need you, at least at this age, at least at this time. So I got it. You don't have to convince me. And I think that's beautiful. So Dr. Heavenly, she goes and she's setting up, well, the event's already pretty much set up. So she's there, and Aurora was there. I'm not sure if Aurora was just there for a moment and she went somewhere else, but as people were coming, Aurora disappeared in the back. Now, Dr. Darren didn't really appreciate the get-up that Heavenly put him in. I said, I like it. I will have worn that. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. Dr. Heavenly was definitely, you know, in her African garb. Quad wasn't dressed up like a, she wasn't dressed up like a queen or a princess. I feel like that was one of the, more so like the spiritual dancers. I've seen that type of get up before. Or maybe even the high priestess. But high priestesses were held in high regard, so. Anyway. You can clearly see Quad and Greg. They're not really communicating that much. They're just spaced out. They're in their respective corners with their respective friends. Mariah, she looks nice in the black and gold. Why did Curtis come there with a gold chain, like Egyptian chain, and wearing a black shirt? And Dr. Heavenly I think her dress is from Saks or something, from Neiman Marcus. I said, she looks cute. So that's all that matters. Contessa, I love the colors. I feel like it was something aside from the head dress that Aaliyah will have worn, or we will have seen when she was, what was it, Queen of the Night? Was it Queen of the Night? I think so. Queen of the Dam? I don't know. But the ladies, they look nice, and Dr. Jackie lets it be known that Curtis is back in the house. Toya is supportive because she loves Dr. Jackie, but she just feels like it's too soon. She's just afraid that they haven't really worked out what they need to work out, so that those the things that happened to tear them apart won't happen again. And I said, that's fair. That's fair. It's really fair, because you can tell Toya really loves and respects Dr. Jackie. So, we finally get to the DNA test results. And I'm glad they actually showed all the results, because I said, ooh, we don't have much time, so how are they going to do this? So, it was essentially, there was a chart, and again, it was supplied by 23andMe. Toya was almost 80% African. I said, okay, cool. But all of them had a very high percentage of European. I said, wow, interesting. Very interesting. Oh yeah, spoiler, mine was 94% African. It was, I think, like Nigeria 40 something or high 30s, and then Ivory Coast and Congo were the main parts of Africa. But Mariah, she actually had a higher percentage than some of the other ladies, and I was surprised. Contessa was like 74% Sub-Saharan African, and I said, our Africa. Dr. Jackie, I believe, was also 70 something, and she was like, you know what, but we're all people. We are all, I'm 100% human. I said, that's cute. That's true. Okay, Dr. Jackie, okay, we get it. Y'all black. That's all that matters. When it got to Simone, Dr. Simone put out the disclaimer. It doesn't matter what this says. I'm a black woman. I'm a black queen. All right, let's get to the results. 77. All right. I can work with, I don't know the European stuff. Contessa, she brought in the point that we all were thinking, well, let's be real. A lot of times that European part, it wasn't from consent. Not all the time, but a lot. It was because of rape of the slaves. So, there's that. What was Dr. Heavenly's? Dr. Heavenly's was, well, Dr. Heavenly was over it as well. Matter, I'm a human being. I mean, I'm black. I'm a black queen. That's all. I said, that's right, baby. That's right. Quad, hers was 90% African. And I said, I can see that. And over 9% European. I said, okay, interesting. But Quad's like, all this stuff, this is cute. I embrace all of it, but let's be sure, as a queen. Now, once that's all said and done, Toya goes and says that she appreciates the olive branch. She really does, because she understands what Heavenly was trying to do, and she says that, you know, she forgives Heavenly for the way how she did and the way how it made her feel at the time, because you know that wasn't her intent. And she said this was a nice fresh start. And I said, kumbaya! But this won't last, because then Toya, she has something on her heart, and Toya isn't the type to just keep it to herself and let it fester. She brought the fact that, Quad, I love you, you're like a sister. So I was surprised when we were talking, and I just made a comment about how the company that you were a part of, that apparently Quad's a brand ambassador of, I just mentioned that, oh, weren't they like going through some financial stuff, like a bankruptcy? And Quad took offense to it, and with Quad taking offense to it, she brought up my bankruptcy. And so Eugene had that look of, so we're really doing this? So this is so nice. This is so great. You didn't even And then Quad said, look, I said what I said because I felt like you were coming from me. I'm thinking, Quad, she said it to you in private. She said it to you in private, and yet you felt like and she wasn't talking directly about you. She was talking about a company that you technically had some involvement with, and you go and hit her with the juggler, and you're trying to convince us that you're not sensitive? Really? Dr. Darren was over because an argument started to transpire because it went left. It did go left. It went left. The ladies looked irritated and irked. Like I said, Dr. Darren was like, I have to go. Because he's not about that. And I respect that. Imagine if I cut everybody off. Quad definitely was just like, look, so are we done here? So this is over, right? This whole relationship thing, that's done, that's over with, because, and no, we don't need to be friends. And Toya definitely, you could tell Toya was hurt by that, because Toya just had it look up. I wasn't trying to do that. That wasn't the results I was trying to get. I just felt like this was a kumbaya moment. Dr. Eugene being hurt that his wife really wasn't trying to start something, even though something did transpire because of that. It was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. This is what happens a lot with this group. This group, instead of supporting each other, you know what? The way how all of y'all act like a bunch of nit. I said, at first I thought he used the C word. That's why I was like, wait a minute, why aren't people more upset? But no, he called him nit. He called him nit. That word. I said, not all, but most have acted like that in this group. And the fact that Heavenly was like, oh, well, no, you're not doing it. I'll go. Because no, I said, Heavenly, you called them that multiple times. We have proof. Stop. See, that's a fake and fraudulent mess I don't like. Because even though the others were offended and didn't appreciate that, because it's like, see, because that was very disrespectful, they didn't even jump on him. They felt it. They definitely gave that look of, we're not doing that. So that's when the men said, all right, nope, we'll take you to the side. And they talked to Eugene, like, no, grouping all of them together when not all of them were a part of that mess, that was wrong, and that was very hurtful. And I definitely agree with that. And he said, he was man enough, he apologized. He apologized. He was like, the word I used was very hurtful and offensive. I did want to bring and stir up emotions, and that's why I did use it. So honestly, I don't regret using it because I knew what I was doing. And I said, I respect that as well. What I will apologize is for, that wasn't meant for all of you. It wasn't. It wasn't something that all of you deserved at all. At all. I want this group of women to support each other more than anything else. Because Quad was talking to Toya at one point. She's like, you know what, you okay? Because Toya, you can tell that she was just like, dang it, man. All I wanted to do was just put something out in the open. I wasn't trying to make something bigger than what it was. So, Eugene was just like, I want this group. I know you guys for 5 years. Because Simone was trying to say, wait, but we don't really. No, you do. I know you guys for 5 years. And it just feels like the same petty. And when we're like, no, don't say petty because that's dismissive. I said, no, it is petty. At this point, it is petty. Stop with the semantics. It is petty at this point. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. A lot of it is unnecessary. That is the definition of petty. Bringing it up just because to stir a reaction, then to get an actual result or resolve. Or get a resolution out of it. It's petty. It's petty. So, Eugene said, it's fine. I just won't go from now on and, and walk my way into the ladies' conversations. I won't go give my opinion on ladies' conversations and topics. I know. I got it. But I said, Eugene, I'm with you, dude. Even though I wouldn't have used that word, I do understand. I do understand what you were trying to do. And I respect that you were really like, I love you ladies. This is not cool. This is not okay. But I do understand why the ladies would feel very offended.